Is she fighting you? Oop. Oh, bad lighting. Bad lighting. All right, hey guys, new video. Bad lighting today. God, I don't think there's any better lighting I'm going to get around here. Oh, that's a little, you know what? That's a little better having it over here. Man, visiting my sister, and of course, I don't have any of my lamps or any of the stuff I used to have at my mom's. And hang on, I'm like, woo! What am I doing with this? That's better, but see, look at the difference though. See, if I put it here versus over here, this is what I was telling you guys about all the lighting tricks. You've got to like really pay attention to stuff because you may not think it matters, but you know, it looks different. Now I'm going to have to put, except now TikTok's going to miss the tree. You know, nothing ever works for me. Actually, that may just work. There we go. You guys get decent lighting and TikTok gets the tree. There we go. That's not so bad. Not perfect, but not so bad. Actually, can I move this way? I'm trying to like move so TikTok can get more tree. Although I don't know. No, I'm covering TikTok even more. All right, let's try. Okay. All right, guys, let me get TikTok rolling. All right, go live. Good enough. Good enough. None of this is easy. And of course, because I'm doing this long distance again, long distance. I guess we're always long distance, but I used the wrong setup. There we are. Hey, TikTok. I forgot to change the camera for YouTube. And if you pick the wrong camera on YouTube, there's no putting the right camera. It picks the wrong camera, and then it's like, boom, you aren't allowed to edit it, which is a ridiculous. Either I'm an idiot and I have no idea how to edit it on TikTok, or once you go live, you're not allowed to change the camera. Very annoying. Anyway, hello, TikTokers. It took me a second here to get set up, but things are pretty good. Woo. Shutdown just averted by vote. Oh, did they? Ooh, did they? U.S. House vote on the budget bill 35. So they just averted the shutdown. Hey, Jens. Oh, I was wondering about that, what the latest was. Ooh, interesting. So what? So they reached some kind of a budget deal to what? Any details on it? I mean, I can always Google it, but since we're talking about it, the budget shutdown was just, or the government shutdown was just averted, I am told. Let me see. What's the so what's the deal then? Shutdown averted, but I want to see like what the actual details are for 3 months. Okay, thanks, Jennifer. That's what I was wondering. All right. Well, hey everybody. So so some breaking news. The government shutdown in the U.S. was just shut down. The shutdown was shut down. So averted for 3 months. The MAGA guys were trying to. Actually, I should have gotten a box. See, this is another trick, which is you want to have the camera. You see what I'm doing here? You want to have the. I'm showing this to the YouTube people. You want to have the camera at eye level. It's a much more pleasing look, and you get to see the whole tree. Whereas when you're down here, you're looking up, and it's not as or like this, like woo. But I forgot, and the box is. I don't even think I've got a box handy. No, I would have done this had I thought about it. Oh well. Anyway, hello TikTok. So hello YouTube. How are you guys doing today? Thanks, you succeed. Some other. Oh, I see Bill Martin. Darian, real life, some gifts on TikTok. Lots of gifts on TikTok. Richard, Laka, thank you guys. Elizabeth, John S. Excellent. Elizabeth again. Cool. Mark. Okay, now I'm seeing like lots of gifts I missed at the beginning. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. Was it Chezek, Diana? Anyway, so welcome guys. Test screen always makes me think clean up. Which test screen is that? Put my focus on for an hour. All right, guys. So welcome. I am in Chicago, as you may be able to tell. The dog is hanging out behind me. I don't know what she's doing. Like, hold on, let me show you guys. Like, there we go. Oops. It's the reverse. It's like the reverse. There we go. Sasha's hanging out. Oh my God, it's driving me. There she is. Oh my God, there she is. For some reason, my dog is like sitting behind me, and I'm not quite sure why. She's like paying. Wait a minute. Here we go. There she is, like stalking the house. I have no idea why. So the only people opposed to the budget deal were 34 MAGA. Big surprise. Democrats voted in favor, except one present. Interesting. Yes, that screen selects. What happens is, so I had started today on YouTube and it got screwed up like it always does. YouTube defaults to the virtual camera. I don't know why, which I don't have running. It doesn't default to like my main camera, which would be an obvious thing for YouTube to do, just default to the regular camera, but it doesn't. So it's very annoying. Yes, new location unlocked. I am back in my hometown in Chicago area. Hi, Sash. You all right? Back in the Chicago area. Okay, you know what? Here, why don't I do this? I'm going to pull my bed over here. Oh, now you can come back under. I'm pulling the dog's bed. Oh, thank you, Martin. I'm pulling there you go. Pulling the dog's bed over. So she's now under the table in front. There you go. See, much nicer. Here you go. All right. Okay. I have to pull the dog's bed under the table. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Blue Ariel, because she likes to sit under the table when I'm working. So now she's happier. I can even YouTubers I can show it, or TikTokers I can show. Say she's underneath, much happier in her big bed under the table. Although I guess I could even show you guys today, since I've got my laptop not connected to anything too complicated. Oop, there's the dog. There you go. There's the dog underneath. She's kind of looking at us like, what are you doing? Oh, dropped my microphone. One moment here. Dropped my TikTok microphone. She travels pretty well. Yeah, she travels pretty well. She goes in the carry container that you travel with, which, what do you do? It works. It works well enough. Yeah, so this is good enough. I'm not going to get a better, there we go. I'm not going to get a better view today, I think, in general. It's hard to get anything better than this. Anyway, I wanted to give each of you a little bit of the Christmas tree. So all is well. Yes, President Musk and VP Karen Trump lost out on the main item, suspension of the deficit cap. Yeah, very interesting what's been going on with the budget stuff. Interesting. Yeah. Trump, I mean, long story. Again, American budget stuff is crazy, but the previous continuing resolution was coming to an end. I'm assuming that's what happened with the previous continuing resolution. Basically, the budget ran out, which happens, and they've got to keep funding it. And they didn't fund it again, and it ran out or is running out shortly. And had they not passed this bill, it would have run out, I think, even tonight, maybe at midnight tonight. The government would have shut down. That would be a big deal and a big problem. And Trump screwed it up. They reached a deal 2 days ago. Mind you, the Republicans were like in charge of doing this. The Republicans reached a deal, and not Trump. President Musk came out and said he opposed the deal that the Republicans had reached. So little Donnie, several hours later, said, oh yeah, me too. I'm against it too. So they killed the deal. And the most adorable part of it was J.D. Vance even weighed in, which I find so cute because J.D. Vance doesn't exist anymore. Everyone knows the real vice president of the United States is Donald Trump, and the real president of the United States is Elon Musk. I mean, Musk has been driving the show. It's going to be very interesting, actually. I'm going to there we go, wipe my computer mic. It's going to be very interesting, actually, to see how this shakes out because Donald Trump does not like getting upstaged, and Elon has totally upstaged him. Thank you, Jorge, for the gift. I mean, Elon is the president at this point, especially on this budget thing. It was Elon who came out and opposed it and killed the deal. And then Trump, literally hours later, Trump was like, oh, yeah, I opposed the budget deal, too. Very crazy, very crazy. Oh, did he really? Josh was saying Musk has officially endorsed the German AfD. What is it? Alliance for Deutschland or something like that? I forget. What's the actual words in German? AfD, which is the far right, somewhat fascist party. Elon also is talking about giving like $100 million or something to the far right wannabe fascist party in the UK as well. Really, really bad stuff. I mean, really bad stuff. Because now he's just basically helping fascist parties around the world. Wannabe fascists, whatever you want to call them, fascist light parties. It's really crazy. Really crazy. Yeah, so. Very bad. Yeah, AFD. So AFD stands for what again? Is it like alliance? Oh, alternative. I always say alliance, and I know it's not. Martin, thank you. Alternative for Deutschland. It's alternative for Germany. Man, can America leave NATO? Kind of. Somebody's asking about NATO. Legislation was passed a few years ago to stop Trump basically from being able to just leave NATO like that. The problem is, even if Trump can't leave NATO without Congress's approval, all he has to do is not help NATO. Russia invades and Trump says we're not helping, right? NATO is not a straitjacket. NATO is not like, oh, Russia invades, Germany or whatever, Poland, and we have to go to war. NATO's a promise to maybe go to war, but there's no automatic legal thing that says we have to go to war. Trump can simply say, no, we're not going to help if Europe gets invaded. That's the real danger with him and NATO. Now, I will say one of the stories I was going to talk about today, I've got all of this on my computer since I can't print any of this out. Again, I'm in Chicago, but at my sister's house, so it's a little less efficient than mom's. But very interestingly, some news broke today from Trump. Anyway, welcome, guys. I should have done a welcome here. This is our nightly show I do Monday to Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern time, US. I'm in Chicago for the week for Christmas, so I'm going to try to do my shows, but I'm going to, Christmas Day, we're not doing one. But I am going to do tomorrow's, though. Tomorrow morning's show for subscribers, we will do the normal time, 11 o'clock Eastern time, US, 10 o'clock Central. So anybody who's a subscriber on TikTok or YouTube, who are the basically the monthly donors, you know who you are. You TikTok people, you've got a SNN next to your name. Either that means you subscribed or somebody gave you a 1-month membership for free. So PTX, you've got one, Blue Ariel, Ash. You see a couple different names on the screen. And on YouTube, same thing. Anybody whose name is green. And I guess, well, actually, blue are the mods. I don't think I think YouTube doesn't let the mods join, believe it or not, unless you're an actual subscriber. But see, Flying Medic is there. Some of the other greens, Jennifer, Frank, Amanda, Jason, Savannah, Jerry, you get it, Emroy. So those are all the paid folks on YouTube. So join us tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. All right. I took yesterday off because I was flying yesterday. I considered tonight, but I'm busy. We sort of ran around, did a lot of errands today. I had enough time. I need about 2 hours. If on a really busy day, I need 2 hours to prepare for the show. Meaning I'm busy. On a better day, I spend much of the day preparing for the show. But if like here where I'm visiting family, I need at least a good 2 hours to sit down and go through the news. I write a little script and stuff. So yeah, there was just enough time today I could do it. And I wanted to anyway. So welcome, guys. We're going to talk about Ukraine. We'll talk about actually a little bit about actually everything is Ukraine tonight. So Trump, interestingly, Financial Times is reporting that Trump is going to tell Europeans that they need to increase defense spending to 5% of GDP. What that means is the 5%. Okay. I always have a hard time explaining this in case people don't know what GDP is. GDP is gross domestic product. It's kind of the size of your economy, is maybe the simplest way of putting it, right? U.S. economy, what do we say U.S. economy was 20 trillion or something like that? I forget the U.S. So GDP is the size of your economy. And under NATO, all of the NATO members have agreed back in the early 2000s to spend at least 2% of their economy on defense spending, right? So meaning if your economy, let's say if your economy was $100 a year, then you promise to spend $2 a year on defense, 2%. That's the way it works. Many European countries were not doing this. Trump, actually, to his credit, Trump actually held a lot of Europeans kind of publicly responsible for not spending enough on defense. And what a number of them actually did start. Now, interesting confusion here today. I had read that we were up to maybe half of European countries that were now spending the 2% that was promised on defense. Financial Times today claimed it was only about 23%. Thank you, Mrs. Toad. That only 23% of European countries had already 21 or 23. I think it was 23. They said, yeah, only. I'm sorry. No. Sorry, I knew I read this wrong. 23 of the alliance's 32 members, so 2/3 have met, so around 66%. So it's not enough, but it's better. It used to be way worse than that. So Trump, interestingly enough, so 1/3 of the European countries are still not spending the 2%. This is still way better than it was. And frankly, it's better because Trump threatened them. So I will say, I'll give Trump credit for that. And I don't know where Germany is. I don't know where the individual countries are right now in terms of where they are on the list. What I do know is Guterman says Germany's paying 4%. Is that true? Is that true? You mean Poland? It's not Germany. Yeah, it's Poland. Germany actually was going to do more. Germany was about to meet the goal, and then didn't their budget fall apart? Because they were having a budget, some kind of legal interpretation of the budget or something, and their whole budgeting thing fell apart. And their defense spending got basically falling apart as well. Yeah, Poland spent 4%. I would say Germany doesn't. Poland spends 4%. UK 2.3%, Jason says. I don't have the list in front of me. If anybody has a more recent list, the last list I found was like from last year. But in any case, Trump, interestingly, is saying that the Europeans now need to spend 5% of their GDP on defense. His staff is saying he'd be willing to accept 3.5%. Honestly, he's not entirely wrong. He's not wrong about a few things here. Look, the U.S. has deemed it in our national interest to protect Europe, and I think that is correct. I think that is not a bad idea, right? I'm going to change my plug on my computer to put it over here. It is not there we go. It is not a bad idea for the U.S. to defend Europe. It is in our best interests, in part, well, for a number of reasons, for trade reasons, but also simply because when it comes down to it, we're going to go to war anyway if the Russians invade Europe, right? We're going to get involved in that war, so why not, right? Stop it from happening, and you stop it. Peace through strength. The Russians look at us, they see how strong they are, they don't invade. But it's not fair that a lot of this is sort of put on America, right? I mean, when you look at the Ukraine war, here's the thing. We have put more into the war than anybody else in terms of absolute money, in terms of absolute monetary value. In terms of the size of our economy, we've not. The Europeans have put more in terms of the overall. Europe has put, I think, like 2 times the amount we've put in. Actually, in raw dollars, they put 2 times the amount. But in terms of individual countries, I believe, I'm trying to remember now, is it Estonia that might be number 1? The Baltic states, Poland are also at the top of the list. Then you've got a couple, some of the Scandinavian countries are pretty high up. That when you look at the size of the economy and how much money they've given, the Europeans have given more. Now, why does that matter? I always sort of explain it this way. If you were looking at donations people make to charity, okay, and you were to say, for example, that one guy, I think it is Estonian, so I bet it is Envy. One guy, sorry, I'm putting some of my stuff on my lips, my lips are dry. One guy makes or gives $1,000 to charity, okay, and the other guy gives $100. You'd say, well, the guy that gives $1,000 is giving more. That's even better, right? So he wins, so to speak. Well, if the guy who gives $1,000 to charity is Elon Musk, that money means nothing to him. And actually, I would say Elon, right? If Elon were only giving $1,000 to a charity, that's kind of shitty because he's the richest man in the world, right? He's worth several $100 billion. He could afford, just like that, if he's giving a charity money, he should give 50,000, right? Or not 1,000. If the guy giving $1,000 to a charity is poor, is like a working class or blue collar, as we say in America, would be working class, right? Who makes, $20,000 a year, $30,000 a year in America, which is like, okay, but has a family of multiple kids and don't have much money saved in the bank, don't have any retirement saved. And that person decides to spend $1,000 helping a charity. That's a huge donation. That's a huge imposition on that guy and his family, right? So if you're trying to look at fairness, not at what the charity gets. So if you're not looking at what is Ukraine getting, if you look at what Ukraine's getting, America's given more. If you're looking at, has everybody paid their fair share, right? The rich guy's fair share should be more than the poor guy's fair share. It's not fair to say, well, Elon Musk should give the same amount as a poor person, right? In terms of fairness, and whether Elon and the poor guy are spending enough. You wouldn't say they should spend the same amount. You'd say the rich guy should spend more and the poor guy should spend less. If you're trying to judge, is each spending a fair amount helping people? That's the difference when you look at Ukraine. If you look at it from that perspective, the size of the economies, the U.S. is not spending as much as the number of the Europeans are. I think the number, we were at like number 13 last time I looked, which was many months ago. So anyway, it's an important way of looking at it, I think. In any case, the other thing, according to the Financial Times story today, that Trump did, or Trump's staff said, in addition to they're going to push Europe, actually, Trump's going to claim he wants 5% of defense spending in Europe, but he's willing to accept 3% of GDP for defense spending. The other thing, and this was very strange, I'm going to actually just read this. This was very strange. Trump plans to continue supplying military aid to Ukraine. The U.S. president-elect's closest foreign policy aides shared his intentions in discussions with senior European officials this month, according to people familiar with the talks. Trump now intends to maintain U.S. military supplies to Kyiv after his inauguration, according to three other people briefed on the discussions with Western officials. Um, that's all they had to say about it, but it's kind of wild. I'm a little surprised if Trump would be, I mean, to say it like that was very interesting. Now, a couple different things. It's possible that what we're hearing is true, but it's not necessarily consequent. Meaning, Trump's an idiot if he cuts off all aid to Ukraine his first day of his presidency, right? That's not how you get Russia to the negotiating table. If we cut off all aid, Russia doesn't need to negotiate at all. Russia doesn't need to go ahead, and Ukraine will be, gone in 6 months. You have to keep supplying Ukraine with aid if you're trying to get them to the point of negotiating, right? So it's possible what we're hearing. What I'm saying is this sounds like good news from Trump's advisors, but it also makes me wonder, since they don't give more details, whether all they're saying is no, Trump is not going to cut off all aid on day one, right? He's going to try to get Ukraine to the table. And then once he has a ceasefire, maybe he'll cut back on some of the aid, right? So in any case, it's still good to hear that Trump isn't going to cut off all aid on day one. I will say this, Trump is a variable kind of guy, right? He doesn't really have very firm ideas. He doesn't have a plan, even when he says he does. So I think he could go anyway. But nonetheless, look, it's better than it was, right, than we were hearing. So this is a good thing. All right, let's continue here. The other thing was, real quick, guys, because you're not mentioning this, so I'm assuming it wasn't in there. I was getting a whiff earlier today that they were trying to put, the TikTok stuff in the congressional, the funding legislation that was happening today? I read somewhere, I thought that they were trying to slip it in. But maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. Again, this was just like a rumor. I wasn't sure. But I don't think they did, because otherwise people would have said, oh my God, they saved TikTok. So a little more news from Ukraine here. Ukraine launched ATACMS Storm Shadows, ATACMS missiles and Storm Shadow cruise missiles against a Russian chemical plant on December 18th, according to the Russians. Now, we knew a couple days ago that Ukraine did hit a chemical plant in Russia. The Russians are claiming that they used American ATACMS and British Storm Shadows. Normally, I don't care what Russia says because I don't believe them. In this case, I don't know why. It sounds like it might be true, and I hope it's true because that's good. Ukraine says that Russia suffered its worst daily losses since its full-scale invasion began. The Ministry of Defense in Ukraine says 2,200 Russian soldiers died in the last 24 hours of fighting. That's an insane number, guys. Who is this? Laddie and PPF. Thank you for the gifts, guys, on TikTok. Please do keep the gifts coming. Like I said, I do this for free, and it's my full-time job, so you guys are the ones who pay the bills. So please, if you can afford it, I appreciate the help. And don't forget to subscribe too. Subscribing is very helpful too. Thank you, PPF. Becoming a monthly subscriber or even doing gift subscription. It's Christmas time. Some gift subscriptions you can throw out there on TikTok and YouTube to other folks that are watching, and they get a free membership, which is nice. You can either do it generally, and TikTok and YouTube will randomly give it, or you can even pick somebody and give them a gift membership, which is nice. Now, TikTok, interestingly, I'm allowed to give a gift membership, but supposedly on YouTube, it's a thing one can do, but I have no idea how to do it. It said it's possible, and I was like, really? This is cute. It allowed me to show my support for John Aravosis. I don't want to do that. I want to show my support for the audience. Anyway, thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Timbo. So what was I going to say? Yeah, so these are wild numbers. Thank you, Courtney. The Ukrainians are saying that 2,200 Russian soldiers died in the last 24 hours. That's horrific. I mean, typically, we've been talking about the number of Russians killed or injured in the last 24 hours, and that number was like under 2,000. It was considered very high. 2,200 dying is insane. I mean, absolutely insane. Good news if it's true. Interesting, because what's probably happening is Putin is trying to make a huge push and to basically get as much land. Thank you, Blue. Blue's did some subscriptions over on TikTok. Thank you for that. I see Jay got it, or yeah, got one. Perfect. Thank you, Blue. I think Putin is trying to send as many troops as possible, not just many troops as possible, as many troops as possible, and not caring about their well-being. And he's sending them in to basically die, but possibly get a little more land before the negotiations happen. Thank you, Emroy or Emroy. Oh, Jay gifted. Good. Jay just gifted a gift membership to Emroy. So Emroy, if you're around, feel free to join us tomorrow morning. We'll be around, like I said, 11 o'clock Eastern time, US. I do my show just for subscribers. We hang out. It's nice. It's a nice sort of much more personal, small group kind of hangout, which is nice. The Koreans, yeah, we don't know. Now, the Koreans, interestingly, in terms of the number of Koreans that have been killed, there was a new estimate by a South Korean politician, Lee Sung-kwen, or I cannot pronounce the name, said at least 100 North Korean troops have been killed and another 1,000 injured in combat against Ukrainian forces in the Kursk region, which is the region that Ukrainians invaded and still are holding some land. So those are good figures too, if true. Michael, thank you for subscribing. That may be a gift subscription too, I'm not sure. On TikTok. Remember TikTok, let me know, guys, who does the gift subscriptions, because TikTok never tells me. I don't know why, but it never shows me who actually does the gift membership. So thank you for that. And on YouTube, Bjorn just gifted 5. Thank you, Bjorn. Bjorn just gifted 5 gift memberships. Mike, Mamacita, M. Nieves, Drogna, and Danny. All 5 of you got memberships for a month. So feel free. I think it gives you some emojis too that I created, but feel free to join us for our show in the morning. And for the actually, I will say this, unfortunately, because TikTok is broken, the membership should give you access to our VIP auctions. We have auctions over on Discord, and I break them into public auctions and VIP. VIP is for the monthly subscribers. TikTok's been broken now for a couple of years. Thank you, V, for subscribing. And unfortunately, the TikTok monthly subscribers, some have access to the VIP auctions, but most don't, and it's a TikTok problem. It's been broken for years. They tried to fix it 2 years ago. I don't know what I'm going to write them again, but it's kind of hopeless with TikTok. YouTube, on the other hand, you have access. So you still have to go to Discord. You just have to create an account for free and then link your account. You just go into your settings on Discord, look for YouTube and say, yes, connect my YouTube account, and you can have access. I did just actually put up a number of new auction stuff. We'll talk about them at the end, but I've got my phone. I forgot that I've got my phone with me, which means I can even show you. Ooh, I'll show you one thing that's really cool that we've got in the auctions over on Discord. I try to do cool stuff from Ukraine, mostly from Ukraine, that we auction off. Half the proceeds from the auctions go back to Ukraine. Half of it goes to support my work because I do this full time. But I try to find just really cool, like cultural things from Ukraine. This is very cool. Okay, Vlad sent me this. I'm going to try to, let me go a little bit less on the light. Try that. This is, I'm going to show you in a second, a like thick, I say cardboard, but it's like almost particle board, like thick cardboard storage container for a mortar shell, a Ukrainian mortar shell that was painted as trench art. Now I'll turn this sideways. I want to show you the video of this because it is so freaking, this is the only gift I'll show you, and I'll show you the rest later. But this is pretty cool. Here. I believe it's an artillery shell too. It's not artillery, mortar. Painted, very pretty. Just to show you, I talk in it. Painting all around. It's done almost like Saint Javelin, kind of a religious themed, but the woman wrapped in. But it's like a woman dressed as a saint with Ukrainian flag wearing around her, Ukrainian colors. I'm going to go with 7 inches across. It's about 7 inches across. Oh God, probably a good 20 inches. Probably 20 inches tall, which is 51 centimeters tall. So it's bigger than you think. It's pretty cool. It's really neat. Cool. I believe it's an artillery shell too. Not artillery, exactly. I said artillery, not artillery. Callum had a look and said mortar. It's got a hole in the bottom too, so it wouldn't be a vase. It's cardboard. So it's the cardboard storage container for mortar shells, but then painted by Ukrainians. Absolutely beautiful painting job. I didn't measure it, but at home I guessed around 20 inches tall, which is 51 centimeters. Because when I'm holding it, it looks like it's only this big. This thing is like 20 centimeters tall. 20 inches tall. Approximately 51 centimeters and about 7 inches across, which would be 17, 18 centimeters. So it's pretty big. It's very cool. You go over to our Discord, maybe moderators, if you can explain to folks over on TikTok and YouTube. YouTube, you can find our Discord in the description of the show. Ash, if you're there today, you could do the description for folks because it's always hard to explain to people how to get to Discord over from TikTok. If she's not around, I think Ash is here. If she's not around, I can always explain too. But you can do it via our profile or via my Ash will tell you. There you go. Yep. So anyway, it's very cool. It's very cool. 2 feet, yeah. I mean, a little 4 inches short, but yeah. Anyway, there's a number of other items, but that's my favorite. I think it's really cool and not terribly heavy, so I could ship it internationally. Um, Biden and Harris going back to the White House? Nope, not sure. What do you mean by that? As far as going back? All right. Gunther found it. What do you mean found it? You're already a member of the Discord. Found it. The dog. Oh, Glenn dog has lost a booty, and so we have to backtrack to find it in the snow. Oh, so Gunther's out in the snow. Yeah, I tried this. My dog Sasha lost her, but the only boot I ever bought my dog. The first time we went out, it disappeared. She took one step, it came off, and I never found the boot. I was so ticked off. They've canceled their Christmas trips and went back to the White House. Oh, that's disturbing. That's true. That's interesting and very strange. Let me pull this up. Well, I mean, for the budget stuff, if the budget didn't get passed, I could see them staying. I'm just looking here to see. Are you seeing this? You're seeing this break somewhere? Yeah, but the budget stuff I thought you said was passed. Looking here to see if I can see this anywhere. Are you seeing this somewhere credible? The budget did pass, yeah. So I was saying what I meant was if the budget had not passed, I could see Biden saying, no, we must stay here, right? But if they averted the shutdown, that's what I'm saying. Where are you seeing this? What's the time stamp of when they said they're staying in town, right? I'm actually seeing nobody even talk about this on Twitter. Although, the way Elon screwed up Twitter, of course, it doesn't really help. It was yesterday? Okay, if it was yesterday, then that's not news. Okay. Okay, guys. You thought that was news because you didn't see what the rest of what we talked about earlier in the show. They reached a budget deal already. So if this happened last night, it happened last night because there was no budget and the government was going to shut down, and they didn't think it was appropriate to go home and celebrate Christmas if the government was shut down and people weren't getting benefits, including our soldiers not being paid. So that's why you would have heard it last night, because just a couple minutes ago or so, folks were telling me the budget actually passed. Yeah. That's why I asked, though. That's why I said, remember, I always tell you guys, whenever you hear stuff like this, check the source to make sure it's real. But I forgot to tell you to check the date. Because, for example, I will hear stories, people will share stories on Twitter and social media sometimes, and you're like, oh my God. And you won't see that it's literally is a newspaper story from 2 years ago. And I've had this happen to me a lot where I've shared it, I go, oh my God. And then somebody goes, that was 2 years ago. You're like, oh my God. Because people just don't always, which I've fallen for it too. You sort of assume news articles are new and you don't look. So always look at the time and date to make sure. Okay, so that's it. Yeah. So that's nothing scary. Yeah. That's actually that's a good thing. So they were going to stay in town, but it looks like the budget got passed, so they're not going to need to stay in town anymore. What else we got here? So yes, 2,200 Russian soldiers dying daily. Oh, thank you for the dragon. Who is that? Hedge. Thank you, Hedge. Very. I like tilting down on the dragon. It's very cool. Shelly the farmer subscribed. So thank you, Shelly. Or if someone got you a subscription for a month as a gift, thank you to them. What else we got going on? Yep. Thank you, Mustard. What else we got going on here? Ukraine's military intelligence says a Russian. Oh, this was it. This was interesting. Ukrainian military intelligence says a Russian AN-72 military transport plane was damaged in a blast near Moscow. The plane reportedly exploded on December 12th. Ukraine isn't taking credit. Thank you, JPT. But they clearly are taking credit because they're letting you know the plane blew up. So what's interesting is, again, this is a military transport plane in a blast near Moscow. So it's just another example of the Ukrainians mucking around inside Russia, which is obviously good news. Exactly, Budanov, exactly. Their head of military intelligence. Thank you, KT. What else we got here? Oh, so kind of a weird little story. It's almost not worth mentioning, but it is because I think some of these stories are important to tell people just kind of to show you who the Russians really are. The Putin yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before, thought it would be cute he was bragging. Remember the missile that barely even works? Russia's Oreshnik missile that they've been trying to get work for years and it hasn't worked. Literally, like 6 years, the Russians have been trying to get this thing to work and it like breaks or whatever. So like not exactly a badge of honor. And they finally got like one missile to work the other day and they shot it at Ukraine and they were so proud of themselves. And everybody freaked out because like, it's a missile that could contain a nuclear weapon. It didn't, but it's a missile used to carry nuclear weapons. And everybody freaked out. And a bunch of us were going, I don't care. I really don't. Like, I'm like, you used a missile that could carry nuclear weapons, but it didn't. Okay. That's kind of like shooting a gun that could carry bullets, but it doesn't. Like, I don't really care if the gun doesn't have bullets, right? Well, the Russians were trying to scare everybody. And there's nothing new about it. Basically, it goes fast, whatever. It carries a lot of nukes. These are not new things. So the missile just isn't that new. There isn't much to brag about, but Russia being Russia, man, keep in mind, the Russian government has an overt strategy of lying. They lie and they will, it is all about disinformation. It is all about tricking you, fooling you. So they will always pretend, oh my God, look at this new weapon we have. Are you not scared? And we fall for it and go, oh my God, I'm scared, until people look at it and go, A, there wasn't any nukes on it, and B, it's no different than their other missiles, really. Like, they've had this missile technology for years. Who cares? But they will, exactly, as Lalidu says, fake it until you make it. They just lie. I mean, that's what they do. Well, so Putin the other day was lying again. Again, this is all he's got, right? Thank you, Mimi, for subscribing. And he was trying to brag about the missile again and say, oh, our missiles are so much better than the American missiles. So he then, challenged Biden to a competition of the missiles and whose missile would get through. And then, of course, like, whose missile's better? And then, just to be gross about it, because this is, again, who Putin is. Thank you, PPF. He said, let's fire our missiles at Kyiv, the Ukrainian capital, and see which missiles get through the American defenses, the American ones or the Russian ones. And it was just like, first of all, the Russian missiles would probably get shot down. But second of all, it was just like, he's just there. It is a fundamental lack of respect for life from these guys. And it's just, because you're like, funny. Let's, you're killing people and let's talk about killing innocent civilians as a joke. Ha. And it's like his big end of the year speech, and it's who these guys are. I mean, unfortunately, but it's who they are. Putin, actually, Zelensky called him help me out, scumbag. Zelensky called Putin a scumbag when he was told about the comments, which I thought was great because it's such an American. Actually, do the Brits use that expression as well, scumbag? It's such a great American expression, but I mean, it sounds like the kind of thing we'd say, but I don't know. Is it a British thing too? I wasn't sure. Let me know in the comments. I know you guys are always a couple seconds behind me. Brits galore. Is it a Brit thing? Oh, you do? Okay. Richard says you do. Okay. Scumbag. Okay. Then yeah. But it's such a great, but for a foreigner to use the expression, I kind of like. It's kind of a fun, Yeah, Paul is AWOL today. Yeah, Paul is our usual, chimes in to help us. What else we got here? Deep. Ukraine's foreign ministry says 6 different foreign embassies were damaged when Russia's missiles attacked Kyiv this morning. The embassies include Albania, Argentina, Palestine, North Macedonia, Portugal, and Montenegro. Orban, big surprise, Viktor Orban from Hungary, who's the wannabe dictator who my username on Discord, Aravosis. Viktor Orban, who's the wannabe dictator of Hungary, who is a big Putin fan, hates NATO, hates the European Union, loves the Russians, loves all the bad guys, kind of like Trump in some ways, really, but has blocked the EU's new Russian sanctions extension until Trump takes over. Again, classic, doing it for Trump. He's a suck up to Trump, first of all, but also trying to help the Russians. It's a twofold thing here. Biden announced its final $1.2 billion Ukrainian aid package. According to Reuters, the package is expected to include air defense interceptors, artillery ammunition, and finally, Russia's central bank. This was kind of interesting, I thought. So, as just sort of evidence of how things are going in Russia economically, I mean, they're holding on, but it's really not going well. This is the sort of thing that I think is interesting because the Russians try to pretend like, oh, you tried to hurt us and it doesn't hurt. Um, from the beginning, Biden said, all right, thank you, LR. Our economic sanctions were not going to bring Russia to its knees. They were not going to force the Russians to quit the war. We said that from the beginning, but they could do a lot of damage to the Russian economy. I'm trying to slide in between, give you guys all a little bit of Christmas tree. There we go. Listen to this. I thought this was very interesting. Russia's central bank today decided not to raise interest rates. They were going to raise interest rates. They decided not to. Let me tell you at what level they're keeping interest rates in Russia. Now, the American interest rates, again, I forget if our official, not the official, but the Federal Reserve rate, are we at 4.5% ish? What are we at, guys? I mean, I can ask that's not even English. What's the current level of American interest rates? The Fed is the federal fund rates or federal funds rate. Is it 4.5? 4.25. It was 4.5 brought down to 4.25. Okay, we're at 4.25. Guess what Russia's at? And mind you, okay, again, the good news for Russia is they were supposed to raise it. They were supposed to actually raise it 2 points. 2 points. I mean, imagine how bad things are. Oh, because of inflation. Okay, I should give you the background. Inflation is out of control in Russia because of all the military spending. They're spending such a ridiculous amount on defense. Again, they're not a rich country to start with. A quarter of Russians don't even have toilets in their homes. Not running. I mean, they have outhouses in back. They don't have running toilets, right? The interest rates were supposed to go up 2 percentage points to try to help with inflation, which is a crazy number. They didn't raise. She decided not to raise rates today, which people were very surprised. That's the good news for the Russian economy. The bad news. What do you think? And again, the current Russian interest rates are. The current Russian interest rate level is 21%. 21%. Now, ours is 4.5, now 4.25%. 21% is a disaster. Now, that does not necessarily directly correlate to what the interest rates are for auto loans, although it's pretty close, probably, actually. I don't know kind of how it works as in the United States as much. How does it work, actually? I know with mortgage loans, it's based on the 10-year treasury and all of that. For actual interest rates for credit cards, car loans, and things like that, is it closer to the federal funds rate, or is it also based in part on, at least in the US, it's 10-year treasuries? But I don't know, like in the US or abroad, whether loans themselves are a little more directly correlated to that rate. Does anybody know? I'm just curious. Anybody sort of are economic experts among us? Just because I guess I could Google it, but I always think it's fun to ask you guys since you've got a lot of knowledge. Anybody? It always, because again, it takes about 8 seconds for it to connect because I'm always ahead of you guys. It shows me, or I think your comments are like 8 seconds behind, basically. Crypto did dip overnight. Yes, some of the experts said you should buy. Who knows, Gunther? I bought a little, but you never know. Credit card rates are greedy high. I think my auto loan from spring is about 8%. That's close to mortgage rates, really. Mortgage rates are now, I think, back to 7, thanks to Trump. Congratulations. Mortgage rates were down to like 6 point something, and now they're back to 7 point something because of Trump. Unbelievable. Because he's got people so worried about the economy. About inflation. So meaning about Trump increasing inflation. It's horrific. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, the markets also kind of crashed the other day thanks to Trump and the inflation stuff. Credit card rates are always high. That is true, actually. Here in New Zealand, our mortgage rates are directly related to our reserve bank rates. Okay, so that's kind of probably our version of the federal funds rate, the Federal Reserve rate. Economic expert from Russian economy? Well, you never know. What, are you saying you are one or you're joking, Pav? You could be. You'd be surprised the kind of people we have checking in on stuff. No, there's a lot of people that know a lot. I mean, a lot of people who are experts on stuff. I found that years ago online. It's such a broad net of who you reach when you're online that you get a lot of people who know a lot of stuff, especially military, for example, on our show. We get a ton of people who know the military stuff inside out. Anyway, so yeah, so I always ask questions because it is rare not to find somebody who's got some of the expertise we're asking about. Um, Ashley does remember. I will say Ashley does remember odd things. I'm always going, how do you know that? It's funny. Oh, dog's getting it moving again. Ruh-roh. Sasha did, of course, have to go out. The show, I literally was like a minute away from starting the show, and Sasha had to go out. It was classic. So I got my sister took her, which was good. And we gave her a little bit of water, although I'm trying to get her less watered. She didn't wake me up last night, but I kept waking up thinking she was going to wake me up. So like we're trying to get around that today. In any case, so yes, Russia. No, you're not getting any more. No, you already had some. No, I don't want you waking me up in the middle of the night. Okay, that is it for the news. Okay, we did go a long time talking about news today. Thank you, P. That's my sister's tree behind us. So yeah, now we're at the part we just hang out and talk. So, so the other auction stuff, we've got a number of cool auctions. I'm only going to show you a couple, but we got new auction items. I will tell you the auction items we've got are, hey, stop. The auction, that's my dog. The auction items we've got up on Discord, I'm going to have up for 12 days because I get back in a week from Friday, a week from tomorrow. I get back to, no, today. Is today Friday? Yeah, a week from today, I get back to DC. But I wanted a couple days so that like I can do the show and show you the auction items because I find the auctions do better when I show you stuff. So I've decided to leave them up for 12 days. So through Wednesday of next, a week from Wednesday of next week, 2 weeks from 2 days ago. Any case, Sasha, stop, please. So the cool thing I showed you guys was a neat, where is this? My artillery shell. Not artillery shell, but it's a really cool, it's the casing, the storage case for a mortar shell in Ukraine that was painted. And it's painted like with this sort of, it's kind of the St. Javelin design in essence, but she's a woman painted as a saint wearing the Ukrainian flag, which is very cool. One or two other things. Sasha, you're not getting any more. Oh, we're doing another of the t-shirts. These are always very popular. These are these camouflage style t-shirts that Vlad made. I will show you for the volunteers who make the camouflage nets for the Ukrainian military that we've raised money for. And the logo on the shirt says Harkovo Mir. It shows two spiders weaving webs. And it says Moskvalna Sotnya on top, which is the Camouflage 100, which is like a nickname he gave for the camouflage volunteers who make the camouflage nets. And anyway, so it's a really cool t-shirt. It's kind of a blue. We've got a medium and a triple XL. So XXL and medium are the only two left. Just be aware. I'm somewhere on Discord. I don't know what my name is on Discord. I'm assuming it's just Aravosis or John Aravosis, but I am definitely there. I just don't know what my actual, I'd have to look and see. I don't know if it tells me my name. I don't even know where to find my name on Discord. I don't know. What's my actual name? Guys, I don't know my actual, I don't know how to find my name, but my name, John Aravosis, my account, John Aravosis. My username's Aravosis. Yeah, my username is Aravosis. I just checked. So it's the same as this. That's the second thing. And do I show you anything else? We've got another bracelet. The bracelets are always kind of fun. The cool Ukrainian bracelets. We always like these with the trident on it. They're kind of a leather bracelet, unisex with the trident. And the other, actually, there's kind of an interesting, there's an interesting Bayraktar kit. And it's this sort of, it's a model, but it's kind of a simple model of these little pieces that break apart and you put them together to make a Bayraktar, which is the Turkish drone that has been used. Actually, I'll show you. You can see it's the Turkish drone that's the Ukrainians have used so well to attack the Russians. But yeah, you open it up, it's got like, well, the instructions may be left because the instructions are in a foreign language, in Ukrainian or something, but you'd have to use Google, which is fine. Google will translate it fine. And then the kit is these little pieces that you break off. You break off, and then the pieces assemble by slipping them into slots of like the wings and the whatever. They slip into the slots, and there's like a little sticker at the bottom. But it comes with a little stand that you put them on, but it's a Bayraktar, which is kind of a cool weapon. So anyway, and been very, very effective weapon helping the Ukrainians. So that's kind of cool. There we go. Anyway, all right. So thank you, Mrs. Toad, for the gifts. So yes, we can hang and talk for a bit. We may not go too long tonight since I'm at my sister's because people will probably be coming home shortly. But oh boy. But yes, remember tomorrow morning we'll do our show in the morning with you guys over coffee, our coffee talk, literally. And then Monday in principle, I'm back. So I'll let you know day by day. Christmas Day will be off. It just depends how busy. Christmas Eve, might go to my cousin's house if I can find a ride. We'll see. He does a nice Christmas Eve thing. I just have to see if I can get there. But I will be, tomorrow morning I'll be doing my show though. So that is happening for the paid subscribers, 11 a.m. Eastern Time US. You won't be on Christmas Eve. I don't know if I'll be on Christmas Eve either, to be honest. Thanks, Liz. I mean, unless we're just hanging out. Maybe I'll do a hangout. Who knows? Who knows? I could always do a casual hangout. Uber, it's $40. It's $40 to $60 each way. That's not gonna, $40 to $60 each way is not gonna cut it to my cousins. My sister's asking to put the pizzas on. Sure. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, well, she's coming down in a second. We'll say hi. But I've got a new little pizza I'm liking, frozen, but it's the Screaming Sicilian, good brand, but they now make a Detroit style pizza that is, I think, to die for. A little salty, but excellent. Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin. Where does that come up? I know what that is, Martin, but what does that have to do with? Are you referring to somebody else's? Oh, what's my name? Oh, I see. Sister's messaging me about the pizzas. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Maybe grab a couple of the, Kathy? Yeah. Maybe take like a third of the pepperoni off of mine because it's a lot and it's very salty. Okay. But just like a third of them and then just rearrange the rest of them because they usually fall to one side.
I'm not saying hello.
That's fine. Yeah. Sister's not saying hello. She had acupuncture and it gave her a bruise on her face. So now she looks like I beat her. So I think it actually doesn't look like that. She looks like she's got coal on her. I looked at her, I was like, you've got like charcoal in your face. So she just said, there's no way I'm coming on. Like you could come and go, hello. You guys, seriously, Amanda? Amanda says she's Canadian and jealous of all the options we have at our stores for pizza and everything else. Get out of here. Canada doesn't have the options like we do? That's surprising. I wouldn't think that. That's funny. It's great until you have to choose too many. Like I will say, buying contact lens solution is impossible. There's way too many. I don't have to use contacts anymore, but when I did, you can't pick. There's a number of things where literally there's too much and you go, this is ridiculous. Because you're reading each thing, trying to figure out the difference. I mean, it sounds funny, but there was a scene in Moscow on the Hudson like this when what's-his-face's character was in the store, and I think he passed out in a grocery store because it was like 30 options of the same thing. But I would think pizzas and stuff that you would have the same number of options we would. That's really surprising. Huh. Totally would have thought, hello, you. Hello. Ha! I got you. Oh, in lieu of my sister, we got my dog. There you go. Yeah. Who hates being picked up, by the way? All right. There you go. I know you're fine though. Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Hates being picked up. As you can tell, she's not even like vaguely being comfortable. And my sister's dog is in Arizona, so Layla will not be. She did not get a haircut. Oh no, she's getting a haircut when I get back. No, she is not. Her hair is still like it's exploding a bit. Even though I don't like her haircut too much in the winter, she needs a cut. It's getting a little too much. So yeah. The attack in Germany. I did see. I'm not sure what to say about it, Dr. Ryan. There was a terrorist attack in Germany today against a Christmas market by really strangely a doctor who was from Saudi Arabia but moved to Germany in like 2005 or 2006. Thank you, DR, for the tiny Danny. And then committed this terrorist attack, driving his car into the Christmas market. And the thing is, Arab terrorists have done this before, Middle Eastern terrorists, against Christmas markets. So they had like security up now. They always put up guardrails or whatever, so cars can't get in. They don't quite know how he got in there. That's what Zerpachi just said. They don't know how the car got in there. But I mean, really, really screwed up. I'm sorry to Germany. I mean, like of all the countries that are doing evil things in the Middle East, I don't think of Germany, and and being a Saudi who's been there since 2006 and he was a doctor. I mean, like, how do you radicalize that? Really wild. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it other than it's like, Jesus. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you, Randy. Mimi for the subscription and Randy for the gift. But it's really strange. I mean, it is because of Islam, but still, how do you radicalize somebody who's been in Germany since 2005 and a doctor? So like well-educated, not like some idiot. It just that stuff always blows my mind. And they're always Saudis. I mean, they're always Saudis. They're not always Saudis, but they're always Saudis. I mean, what was it? 15 of the 19 terrorists of the hijackers on September 11th were Saudis. I mean, man, my celebrity crush, that's a tough one. Always thought Matthew Broderick was cute. He's gotten older now, less cute. But he always was very cute. God, beyond that, it's hard. I mean, I think Ryan Gosling is very cute, actually. It's funny. My friend Damien can't stand him, but I think he's cute. I'd have to look around and see. There are others. There are many others. I'd have to Google. Actually, the British, I think that Cypriot British actor, I always think is very cute. I just saw him in a movie. Damien and I were watching a horrible movie, The Gentleman. Horrible movie. He's in it. He's like the male lead. He's British Cypriot. Very cute. Been in a lot of stuff. Short black hair. He was Mr. What was it? Pumard or whatever in Downton Abbey. The Turkish diplomat who dies in her bed, in Mary's bed, is this actor. Google him and you'll see. Mr. Pooh, what was it? The name? Pooh. Somebody will know the name. He's Cypriot. Ryan Reynolds doesn't do it for me. No. David Tennant. I like David Tennant, but no. Rob Lowe. I like Rob Lowe a lot too, actually. But yes, somebody Google my Cypriot, British or English of Cypriot background. I believe he is. But who was, like I said, Mr. What was it? Pumard? What was the name of the Turkish diplomat who Mary kills in her bed on Downton Abbey? It was very funny. He was good in that. Mr. Pamuk. There you go, man. Mr. Pamuk. Yep. But Google the name. I want to know what's his name again. I'm forgetting the actor's name. I mean, I can Google, but it's like too many screens. Mr. Pamuk. It was a great name too. They had fun. Theo James. There you go. Squeeze says Theo James. Yep. Very good. Oh, the guy who plays Jamie in Outlander, he's very good too. Yeah, Theo James, the Outlander guy. What's his name? He's very good. She's good too, actually. I like her as well. They're British. I guess he's Scottish and she's British. Well, they're both British, but she's Scottish and she's English and he's Scottish, I should say. Sam, oh God, how do you pronounce his last name? Hagen? How do you pronounce that last name? Hagen? Yeah, clearly modified his name to be less Greek. Yeah, Theo James. James is not exactly a Greek name. I'm sure it's a nice long, I'm forgetting his real, there you go. Theodore Peter James Kennard Taptiklis. There you go. That's a nice Greek name. So he didn't actually change his name. He took just parts of it. Is she Irish? I don't know. The other woman, the lead actress, is she Irish in Outlander? I always thought she was English, but who the hell knows by the accent? I mean, her accent is good because she's an actress, so who knows? Oh, that's right. Her name is Irish. Katrina. Yeah, Mary Balfe. Yeah, you're right. I remember seeing Katrina spelled that way and thinking she was Irish. She's an Irish actress, been working as a fashion model in Paris at the age of 18, but refocused on acting 10 years later. She's very good. Yeah, she's very, oh, thank you, Bowie, for the gift. Or Bowie, depending how you say it. So I said Bowie because I've lived in DC too long. There's a town in the DC suburbs in Maryland called Bowie, Maryland. Bowie. So we see Bowie and we think Bowie, whereas everybody else thinks Bowie. Like David Bowie. Yeah, well, it didn't even strike me, but it's like living in DC for long. You think Bowie because you just think the town. Yeah, Bowie, exactly. Norfolk. Took me forever to figure out how to pronounce Norfolk. Norfolk, because Norfolk, Virginia, but it's pronounced Norfolk, which is funny. And DuPont Circle, DuPont Circle is DuPont Circle, although the name is DuPont. of course, right? But we say DuPont. And that's like a thing in DC. Like at first, when I first moved, I said DuPont Circle or DuPont Circle, and the bus driver had no idea what I meant. And he goes, "Oh, you mean DuPont Circle?" I said, "Yeah." And then he kind of looked at him like, "What's like a foreigner?" Where you're going, "What's the difference?" Right? But I said DuPont Circle. He had no idea what I meant. I still remember that from like 40 years ago. Thank you, 2.5, for subscribing. What else we got? Fuck. Exactly. Oh, you are from Bowie. That's funny. Oh, you're in DC, Franny. Oh, nice. Maybe you've told me that before. I don't recall. Yeah. Me too. Not today, but generally speaking. Versailles, Kentucky. Although God knows, oh my God. Well, I would guess Versailles, or it's worse than Versailles. Versalius? Maybe? Is it the last one? Versalius or Versailles? Versailles would seem obvious, but I could imagine Versalius if you're really trying to bastardize it. Yeah, Norfolk, Versailles. Yeah, but Versailles makes sense when you look at it. I mean, it makes sense as an American way. Well, we've got the French names in the Midwest too, right? Des Moines. Des Moines isn't too far. We don't say Des Moines. We say Des Moines. So you don't pronounce the S, which is correct. Anyway, Versailles. As Gunther knows, we do the Y in French at the end, especially if you're Parisian, I would guess. A little more of a pronounced. I'm trying to remember some of the other. And the S in Illinois is correct, is silent. Also, I heard somebody on the news the other day mention Illinois, and they said Illinois, which I've heard before. Chicago, Illinois. I'm trying to remember how we even say it. Chicago, Illinois. I don't know if Ash, isn't there an Illinois accent that says Illinois? Because I'm thinking like Chicago, Illinois. Like if you say Chicago, I almost want to say Chicago, Illinois, right? Whereas normally I'd say Illinois as the state. I wouldn't say Illinois. But Chicago, Illinois, I almost would soften it when saying that. But when people say Illinois, I'm like, niet. No. Thank you, running for the gift, and Courtney. Oh, Athens, Kentucky is Athens. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's Athens, like aphid. You pronounce the S on Moines in the town Des Moines here in Washington. So Des Moines, do you say? Illinois. Buena Vista. Buena Vista. Oh, funny. Buena Vista. Like Bueno, bueno, but Bue would be Bu in English if you were pronouncing it English, right? Bu, like view. Buena Vista. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Cairo, I know. And Cairo, Illinois is pronounced that way too. There's a Cairo in Illinois. That's Cairo, but we pronounce it Cairo. Yeah. Which in Illinois makes sense because Cairo sounds it's got a little bit of a southern accent. Like you can get a rural accent, but in New York, I'm surprised they would have that same accent, Cairo, Georgia, Pennsylvania. Yeah. Yeah, Worcestershire sauce, which I had to learn years ago how to pronounce that correctly. Anyway. Well, Spanish names, I was going to say, yeah, in the Bay Area. Yeah, David, you guys have a lot of interesting Spanish names where I always get a kick out of sort of the, because some of them are not too far off. But I remember, I can't even remember now what the names are, but I remember seeing them speaking Spanish and being like, some of them are good and other ones are like, huh. It's kind of like a funny, yeah. Oops, I did forget about that one. That should not be a reminder I put today. Oops. Got to call the accountant about mom's estate. Got to remind myself of that one. I'll do on Monday here. Remind me on Monday to call the accountant about mom's estate. Okay, there we go. Hopefully it reminds me. In the 8th grade French, we had to do an assignment on a French town of our choosing, but the teacher prohibited Brest and Condom, France. That's funny. Hey, Franny. Thank you, Franny. I appreciate the happy holiday wishes, and to you as well. And it's a very generous donation of you at the same time. Thank you, darling. Goal? Make Super Chat more fun with a goal. Who knew? Set a goal to engage with your audience in a new way. This is a YouTube thing. Once you reach your goal, celebrate with your community. Okay. Is there a way to celebrate? Pick a goal, choose the Super Chat colors that count, set a timer, show how you'll celebrate. Oh, that's kind of funny. Well, that's it. Well, we're not going to do it today because we're almost done. Get inspired with examples. I'll stream again on. These are the examples YouTube gives you for what you, if you guys do enough Super Chats, what the thanks is. I'll stream again on Friday. Okay. Or maybe I won't stream again on Friday. That's the gift you get. I'll play a rhythm game without any sound. I don't know what that means. Hosting a community gaming night. That's cute. Get 1 extra hour of live streaming when we reach the goal. That's a lot, unless you're doing a 5-minute show. I'll do a stream where we explore more indie games. Oh, that's kind of cute. I'll have to set that. I can set that up for the future. That's cute. That's cute. Oh, I like that. I like that. We'll have to figure out what the we'll have to think about that. We'll think about that. I think it's more like singing a song or something silly, something worth it. Thank you, Jetta, for the snowflake keychains. Anyway, now we know we can do that. Oh, thank you, Deep Blue. Appreciate that. Anyway, celebrate something. Well, we got Christmas coming. I've still got 8 more Christmas gifts, but found my brother's, so that should be arriving today. He doesn't watch the show, so I can say. Actually, I usually get him the Omaha steaks, which I discovered a few years ago. He loves steak, loves meat. And I was like, you know what? It's a great kind of like gift thing for somebody who likes that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Front room. Yeah, I wouldn't say front room. Front room. He's in the front room. Front room sounds weird to me. Front room, I think I would say. Yeah. Front room sounds like normal, or front room. Front room? No, that would be like a crazy person. Front room? No, front room. I'd say front room. Front room. Front. Although we say front. I wouldn't say front room, but I'd say front room. Front. It's almost saying it like in French, like F-R-U-N-T. Front room. That's how I'd say it. Living room? I don't even know what a front room is, to be honest. A front room. I mean, I know the expression, but I don't really know what it is. Yeah. Is it a living room? Front room, or however it's spelled? What even is a front room, Ash? I don't really know what it is. Is it a living room? You're saying yes or what? It's a living room. But I would say versus a family, because a family room is the casual room, and a living room is the, room where you entertain guests. You know what I mean? Where you receive people, exactly. That's the front room. It's your front room. I mean, I've heard of the name, but we don't use it because we don't use the word. I didn't grow up knowing the word. Is front room a British word? Ashley's so cultured, because I would never front room. I wouldn't use the word. I don't know what it means. But the room in front, I mean, I guess it depends. Like in my sister's house, that is the room in front, which is the nicer room. Then the, family room den thing is over here, which is like the room for friends and, where you'd sit and watch TV and stuff. The front room. Yeah. I've never used the word front room though. Drawing room. That's even better. The drawing room. Yeah. That reminds me on that's almost like the library is it the library on Downton Abbey? I think of that as a drawing room, a parlor. Yes, exactly. Man, that's another word. I would never use parlor. That's funny. The front room. Yeah, I've never used the term. Like I said, I don't know how to describe it. You have a bunny room? Well, we had rooms that we ended up naming after things. Like there was a room that was upstairs that was pink as a small bedroom, and we called it the pink room. And we always, for 50 years, we called it the pink. Obviously, we got rid of the pink early on, but maybe not early enough, but we always called it the pink room, which is funny. There's a room in the basement that's a nice little storage area that we called the paint room because it had a ton of paint in it. and we just always, but we ended up using it as it's a little nook under the stairs, so it's nice for if you were to like wines and things. It's a good wine cave. It's good for extra pantry. We also go there when the tornado hits, so it's a nice tornado room. But we always called it the paint room. And my dad's office was the funny room because it was a room that was a triangle, and the triangle came almost all the way to the floor. So it was a bizarre shaped room, and literally we called it the funny room. And it's funny because I think we may have stopped calling it the funny room because my dad turned into an office, then became dad's office. But that was funny room forever. Pink room we still kind of use, and the paint room we would say as well. But it was funny, like the funny names that stick in your family, It is in my auction items. Better be. Hold on. Better be there. My Discord. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Where are you? Yep. I'm going to make sure. I'm going to go back and look. Yeah, it's under public auctions. The very first public, I will show you the very first public auction item says Ukraine mortar trench art. That's the cardboard painted thing. So public auctions, Ukraine mortar. Now, the one thing is you can click and it'll shut and open the drop down. I don't know if you can see as I'm doing this. Okay. So make sure, oops, go back to Discord. Make sure and you touch public auction because like the drop down list will open and close. So check that just to make sure, but it's definitely there. Sometimes things screw up though with Discord as well, and it hides stuff from people. So let us know if it's doing that. Actually, let me know now before we sign off if for sure you still can't see it, but it's definitely there. Ukraine mortar trench art, I call it. Since we got off on our tangent about the living room, bedroom, living room, kitchen, dining room, utility room maybe, but utility room kind of a weird mix of what that could mean. You're not seeing the public auctions? Oh no. You're not seeing the public auctions because as you can see on mine, the public auctions are right above the VIP auctions and here, right below the latest news, right? Auction area, how to auction, and then public auctions. So are you seeing all of that, but not public auctions? What aren't you seeing on yours? And what I would ask you to do is go to the top and hit a support ticket. You see, we got welcome, read me, please verify, generate, and support. The support thing, click that support button if you're not getting it and put in a support because Syndicate, who is Michael, our wonderful friend who helped us set, he's our tech guy, our very generous for free tech guy. But he will get the message immediately if he's in Holland. I always call it Holland. I'll never stop calling it Holland. The Netherlands, as they call themselves now. Damn Dutch people. But he's in Holland and can look into it if you tell him exactly what you're seeing and not seeing. So yeah, it's good the other people can see it, but sometimes for some people, certain permissions are off. Discord is very complicated. Thank you, Crazy American. I don't know why. It's very annoying. Thank you, user 869. I'm sorry about that. It's Discord itself gets messed up sometimes, and it's not clear why. But it may be some settings on your phone. I don't know. Even Ash maybe can even tell you too. Sometimes there's some settings on your phone you have to go through. Like I think one of the things we even have a welcome section. Let me look here. I think we have is it the README? It's not the README. Nope. It's not the README. It's not the, as long as you verified, of course. We had, I think he moved it around and stuff. We had a section that kind of walked you through that when you first came to make sure you sort of did all the right things to see everything. Yeah, maybe it's not there anymore. The music to stop. That's what I'm wondering, if the channels are hidden and need to be selected, but I don't remember where that setting is, Serpachi. If you can even mention right now, there's a way, some of the channels are hidden on Discord for some people because of defaults for whatever reason, and you've got to pick, because some people don't want to see all the channels, but their stupid setup without you having to know it unchecks it for you so you can't see some of the channels. They still say Holland. That's good to hear, Deep Blue, because I grew up calling it Holland, and it's very weird for me to call it the Netherlands. The Netherlands is too long. The Netherlands, 4 syllables, and it sounds funny, the Netherlands, whereas Holland, I still call it Holland. But we used to call it Holland growing up. That's funny that they do. I'm glad they do, at least, because everybody else tells me it's not Holland. Actually, I think Syndicate gets mad when I call it Holland, I think, which is funny. Anyway, support will not allow you to send a message. Did you verify yourself? Did you verify yourself and everything? Hold on, I want to take a picture of this so we can at least have your name down. Tell me what your screen name is. Oh, nice. From Matt's on his way back from Colombia. Tell me what your screen name is or username, I should say. Not screen name, your username on Discord, so I can try to tell Syndicate, because that's very weird. That's very weird, but you are verified. That's weird. It's not letting you send a message. Sorry, guys. We're going to sign off in a second, but I want to try to help user 869 briefly on what's going on. Corey says they've a partially Dutch family, and we say both. See, there you go. That's, like I said, for me, it just sounds weird. I default to Holland because that's like what we called it. But yeah, I will sign off in a second, but I want to see if I can help user. MT502, is that you? User 869? 869 always, I still think of species 8472 whenever I see names like that. It makes me laugh. 869. And only some of you know what I mean. See, Alec? Oh, that's the user you used over at, you're kidding. That's the name you used over at Discord? 869533. Basically, it needs at least the amount of time for the minimum. What's the minimum? 23? Kev?
What's that?
Give it at least the minimum, and then we can see how it looks.
Almost 27 minutes, but you're cooking it in its existing baking pan. Huh?
Correct. Yep.
Wow.
Just take the plastic off. The baking pan helps it cook. Yep.
Gotcha.
869. Yeah, I don't know what's. So looking at this, it's really weird that it's not letting you. Send a help message if you're verified. I can look and just see if we can pull up who they are, but that's very weird. And also, your name being long does not help because typing it in is not going to be easy, but I can try. Hold on here. So we're gonna hang a second and me try to help this person. Me, that's not really English. As I try to help this, as I try to help this person. 1 second here. It's at the top, I think. Yes, it is at the top. Here we go. Server settings. I'm going to try to pull you up. Members. Join to Discord. Past hour. There we go. When did you join Discord? It's not showing anybody for the past hour. Or past 24 hours. Past 7 days, just one person. When did you join?
Is this enough?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just to get I'd say get a third of them off maybe or whatever.
Well, I just took.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, just take a third of them off. However many there are, take off a third of them,
Not from the pan, you're just saying.
Just of the total there, just get rid of a third of them. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Because it adds flavor, but it's not going to be as salty.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, user 869. I'm trying here, but yep, sorry guys. I'm going to try this one last time. Search by username. 869. Actually, there is no 869. No, there's no user 869. So I'm not sure what you mean. You're literally not even showing up as a person. User 869. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm not even sure. But it's not even showing a user 869. Oh, I see joined us. You're right. MTK is the most recent one. That does make me wonder if it wasn't MTK. I don't know. All right, guys, I think we're going to sign off shortly here. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, user 869, but there is no user 869. There is MT502 that joined our server 20 minutes ago, which makes me wonder if that's not you. That's possible. Different alphabets? Maybe. But also I pull up that username, it doesn't even come up. But that's you? MT502? That is you. Let me take a look here. Past verification level, but I don't think you're actually verified. Syndicate gets pissed when I verify people because then we get bad people that show up. You're sure you went to the verification link and verified yourself? Right? Where you go to the please verify link under welcome. And you did that and click the I'm human link. Try verifying again. I think the verification might be the problem. Although there's no explanation of why you're seeing the VIP. Let me pull this up one more time here. Let me try something. Wait a minute. Auction supporter, YouTube. I'm trying to remember what are the, hold on here. Verified. Yep, 1 sec. Click message. Past verification level, does that mean you're verified? Though MT502. This is pissing me off. This is pissing me off. Hold on, I want to get this working. I want to get this working. Again, Syndicate gets mad when I sort of make people's thing work by fiat. It's like you've got, but I don't think there's any other, what's the other, I don't even think there's a roles, but there's, right, you're not a paid role. I'm gonna make you verified. It's not verified. I'm gonna make you verified, even though Syndicate's gonna get pissed at me. All right, I've just verified you. See if you can see it now. And don't tell Syndicate I did it, because if you're a troll, he's gonna be very upset with me. But take a look now and see. And then we're gonna, as I said, shortly we're gonna hang up, guys, so I don't drag this out forever. But thought I would try to help here. Try now. Oh, Magic Knight, you're having the same problem? Take a look and see. You see it now? Okay, Magic Knight, what's your name? We'll help you too. Again, what's your name on Discord? It's really annoying me that it's doing that. Eternal Embrace. Let's see. Eternal. Oh, Jesus Christ. Of course, it's not going to show me again. Search results. Oh, no, this is the 5 members. This is only the most recent members. Sorry. Members all. Here we go. Okay. Let's try this. Eternal. There is no Eternal Embrace. I really think it doesn't show you the same things it shows us. Join Discord all. Members all. All. Roles. This doesn't make sense. It's showing me everybody, but it's not showing me anybody with the name Eternal. You sure you don't have a different name? Well, yeah, I'd like to get it to work for you, though. There's no Magic Knight. I thought I'd look at Magic Knight just for fun. I mean, you may not be a member of the forum. It's not showing you as a member at all. Eternal is not there. I'm looking for Embrace. Embrace is not there either. Yeah. 2 Discord accounts. I'm sure it's not your other one, because this one claims it's not a member of our forum. Sorry, guys. We are going to be signing off shortly, so if you want to, you feel free to leave. I just wanted to try to help these guys. You're not getting a UN story today. I've got to think of more UN stories about all those crazy morons. I have to think of another one. There are so many. I don't know whether joining by phone, you might have done something wrong. It's not claiming you're a member under that name, at least. Do you think Democrats will win back the House and possibly the Senate? I mean, I don't know in 2 years. I have no idea. I think, Republicans will hopefully overstretch the House, maybe. Senate, I don't know if the Senate, if Dems are in a much better position next time. The House, potentially. UN can be a Christmas present for the mods. I have to think if I know any of them. I mean, it was horrific, but, some of them are not, I'd have to think whether I've got any more funny stories. Like I said, I wish we knew if I could find out what your account is. Thank you, 912. Appreciate that. If I you got me a present. No. It's not letting you place a bid. Well, see if you can at least submit a support thing. Because I still think there's a permissions thing that's going weird. Yeah, send me a screenshot. That's good for starters of your account or whatever. Yeah, do that. I still think there's a permissions thing that's gone wrong with yours. Now, if you're trying to bid in the VIP, no, that's the public auction. That's not the VIP. Yeah, that's the public. You should be fine in the public auction. Everybody could bid there. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm looking here. Joop. So I was looking here. Yeah, /bid space 25. I mean, because people do get screwed up how to bid sometimes. It's just /bid space 25. Some of them put /bid space and then 25 if you were bidding 25. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. So don't keep belaboring this for the rest. Although you guys are having your own little discussion over on YouTube, which is fine. I see Gunther is keeping you busy, so that's good. The UK appoints a new ambassador. Yes, and Trump has already called him a moron. Oh, that's good. Oh, because I'm sure Elon. You know why? Because all you need is Nigel Farage to tell Elon something, and then Elon will tell Trump. So now we've got the fascist pipeline from the UK coming to the foreign idiot here. That's just great. All right, good night, Paula. Yeah, okay, message me tomorrow, Ash. Okay, yeah, not sure what's going on, guys. Sorry about that. I mean, you'd have to send screenshots. I don't know. I guess you try to message me. If you don't, first of all, see if you can send a support ticket, like I was telling the other person. You mean go to the what's it called, the welcome, and look at the fourth thing that says support, and see if you can send a support, because that'll get Syndicate involved, and he and I can both get involved and see. But for the other person, to the user 869 or whatever, that doesn't make sense either. Why that? Unless you're just not bidding correctly now, which is possible. But it's annoying because Discord just does this. Sometimes it doesn't work for some people, and there's like something, the settings are wrong. It doesn't. It is what it is. It's the best thing out there, but it still, I think, is very clunky technically, unfortunately. So, all right, guys, let's call it quits. All right, have a good night, everybody. I will be back tomorrow morning for the paid subscribers. So join us 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, and we hang out. And Discord's very complicated, actually. Yeah, I find it. When I first joined, I was like, oh my God. All right, guys, have a good night. All right. Hello, dog. Hello, dog. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Some of you, otherwise Monday. All right, you guys.